Ekiti Television, taking you further.
The Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, has affirmed that his administration will not invest resources in any ministry, agency, or organization that does not make meaningful contribution to the development of the state and the well-being of its citizens. The governor made this remark while receiving the new leadership of the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority, led by its executive chairman, executive officer, Dr. Olufemi Adekambi, at the governor's office in Ado-Ekiti. Government House reporter Yemi Olajutemu has the rest of the story.
Governor Ibanji said that the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority has made no impacts in the state with the various agriculture and food security efforts embarked upon by his administration. He said that his administration has bypassed the agency by providing alternative routes and partnering serious-minded private investors to make Ekiti the food basket of the nation. The governor carpeted the previous leadership of the agency for sidelining Ekiti State in their activities, called for a redirection in the leadership and reorientation for their staff. He, however, assured the new leadership that his administration will collaborate with them for the overall development of Ekiti State.
Whatever we can do to ensure that we fast-track development, I'm ready to do that on behalf of the board. I'm ready to follow up for you. As long as we are sure that I've told them what they are ready to other states that we need to do before. You have massive assets in Ekiti State that are wasted. What brother has in Ekiti State is more than enough to drive agri agenda if they have agreed to partner with us. But because they refused, we've carried our burden ourselves. When we spoke about building dormitories, just right, we are building 6 dormitories across this cluster in state now. 6. Massive. Our youths are back on farm. We have close to 5,000 of them now in 6 clusters working in the state. We have collaborated with you, sir. But we have to carry that cost, those costs ourselves. You spoke about irrigation. We have a lot of serious-minded private sector, big farmers, commercial farmers in this state.
Earlier, the managing director of the Benin-Owena River Basin Development Authority, Dr. Olufemi Adekambi, unveiled a comprehensive development blueprint aimed at boosting agriculture, infrastructure, and youth empowerment in the state. He assured the governor of a new dawn in the agency, noting that President Bola Tinubu was intentional and strategic in the appointment of right people into the board of the agency.
The governor has expressed his displeasure with the way brothers, that's Benin-Owena, have been related with the state. Not only even in Ondo State where I come from, my governor too expressed his own side of it. And but it's a new dawn, it's a new thing, and that's why you can see Mr. President appointed people that believe in his vision, believe in that renewable agenda. So we have come with the renewable agenda, and that's why we're here to collaborate with the state to make sure that we have achieved what Mr. President wants us to achieve concerning food security.
He listed various ongoing and proposed interventions across the state, including flood control projects in Ilupeju, Efunalaye, Ado, and Ikere-Ekiti, as well as management of key dams in Aisegba, Oye, Ayede, and Ado-Ekiti, while cultivation and reactivating of hundreds of hectares of farmlands across Ikere, Oye, Ikole, Ire, and Yemero are ongoing. Yemi Olajutemu reporting.
The Ekiti State government has promised to continue to partner relevant federal agencies with the aim of putting various measures in place to mitigate the effect of flooding in the state. The state deputy governor, Okinlu Amonisade Afuye, made the promise as engagement in National Disaster Preparedness and Response Campaign 2025 held at the Lejijiboru Hall Government House in Ado-Ekiti. BSS reporter Adedayo Adeleye completes the story.
The Stakeholders Forum, with the theme Strengthening Resilience, Enhancing Preparedness and Response, had royal fathers, opinion leaders, voluntary organizations, among others, in attendance. Okinlu Afuye appreciated NEMA for the initiative and collaborative efforts to avert flooding. According to the Deputy Governor, the state government had done a lot to avert flooding through the dredging of waterways in high-risk zones across the state, evacuation of waste from water channels, among others.
My special appeal goes to all the local government and SCJ chairmen to move around their various SCJs and local governments and take proactive measures in areas that are likely to be affected by flood in their respective local government and SCJ to prevent the occurrences. I advise our chairmen to consider improved drainage system, regularly clear gutters, canals, and drainage paths to ensure water flow freely.
Okinlu Afuye urged citizens to strictly adhere to the state environmental laws by avoiding indiscriminate dumping of waste and erecting structures on water banks and flood-prone areas. In his remarks, the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zubaida Umar, represented by Mr. Fred Anuzim, said that proper waste disposal and flood preparedness were crucial for community well-being and environmental health. He explained that the engagement was to sensitize and create awareness among the people about the expected heavy rainfall predicted by NIMET that listed Ekiti among the states likely to experience heavy rainfall and potential flooding this year.
This downscaling, therefore, is government's approach through NEMA to sensitize the general public using all available medium to reach communities at risk of 2025 flood predictions. It is our hope that this exercise will achieve the purpose it was meant for, especially for people of Ekiti State and the communities identified by this prediction.
The General Manager of SEMA, Mr. Oludare Ashaolu, appreciated NEMA for the initiative and commended the State Governor, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, for approving funds for the dredging of waterways in high-risk areas across the state.
Flood can destroy crops, leading to food shortages and economic losses. This stakeholders meeting cannot be better organized any other time than now.
There were remarks from the Chairman, Council of Traditional Rulers and the Olojudo of Ado-Ekiti, Oba Iroyin Ojokanri, Commissioner for Information, Chief Taiwo Latubosun, representatives of Nigerian Immigration Services, Nigerian Police Force, Red Cross, Fire Services, among others. Adedayo Adele reporting.
Ekiti State House of Assembly has passed Ekiti State Quality of Health Care Bill 2025 into law. The bill was passed at the plenary to commence the second anniversary of the 7th Assembly presided over by the Speaker, Mr. Dewi Aribasoye. The bill was debated by the Committee of the Whole House, who examined every context of the bill to safeguard the health of residents. The Chairman, House Committee on Health, Human Services and HIV/AIDS, Mrs. Abimbola Sholanke, explained that the bill will put an end to quackery in health services in the state. The House noted that quackery had negatively affected the health status of some residents, leading to untimely deaths. Also, the motion to move the sitting of the Parliament to the Fajri Pavilion tomorrow in the interest of the general public was moved by the Leader of the House, Mr. Toluigi, while the Speaker hinted that Ekiti stakeholders will be in attendance to celebrate with them. The media news continues after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Guys, food is ready.
Suitable for jollof rice, stew, spaghetti, and yam portage. Cook to impress.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when our nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. Providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms, because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, or pure love.
The federal government has promised continued support to the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, to enable it to train the best military officers for the armed forces. The Minister of Defense, Alhaji Abubakar Badiru, made the pledge when he visited the NDA in Kaduna as part of his 2-day official visit to the military installations in the state. Badiru explained that the government's support for the NDA will aid the efforts of the federal government towards ensuring a safe and secure nation. The minister, who commended the premier military university for its outstanding performance, also reaffirmed the federal government's continued cooperation to enable the institution achieve its objectives. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Southeast Development Commission, Senator Iroyin Ojokanri, has asked President Bola Tinubu to sack underperforming ministers and security chiefs from their duties as he marks his second year in office. Kanu, in an interview, warned that sentimental leadership decisions could worsen Nigerian socio-economic stability, stressing that the president must demonstrate political will and courage in reshuffling his cabinet. He blamed the worsening insecurity, particularly in farming communities, on political sabotage, alleging that some elites were sponsoring unrest to destabilize Tinubu's administration and seize political power. The House of Representatives Committee on Basic Education and Examination Bodies has criticized the management of the West African Examinations Council (WAEC) over widespread irregularities and operational failures that characterized the 2025 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination. An investigative hearing at the National Assembly, lawmakers grilled the head of WAEC Nigeria, Dr. Thomas Dangote, over what they described as systemic lapses that had eroded public trust in Nigeria's examination process. The session became rowdy as lawmakers voiced their displeasure over WAEC's habitual negligence and lack of preparation. The Supreme Court has fixed tomorrow to deliver its long-awaited judgment in the protracted legal battle over the reinstatement of Al-Mustafa Haruna Jakolo as the 19th Emir of Gwandu. The former Emir was controversially disposed in 2005 and subsequently initiated legal proceedings against the Kebbi State government. The new date comes 2 days earlier than the previous scheduled June 6, following the federal government's declaration of public holidays for the upcoming Eid al-Kabir celebrations. A 5-member panel of justices led by Justice Uwani Abaaji had initially reserved judgment for June 6 after hearing final arguments from all parties on March 11. The appeals before the Apex Court challenged the 2016 judgment of the Court of Appeal in Sokoto, which upheld a 2014 ruling by the Kebbi State High Court ordering Jakolo's reinstatement. South Koreans commenced voting today in a snap presidential election, concluding months of political upheaval following former President Yoon Suk-yeol's controversial imposition of martial law and subsequent impeachment. Polling stations opened at 6 a.m. in districts across the country. Millions had earlier voted during a 2-day voting period last week, with more than one-third of registered voters participating, according to the National Election Commission. The election is widely seen as a referendum to the conservative administration led by Yoon, who was impeached after deploying troops to parliament in a move that drew widespread condemnation. The people of Igbara-Odo-Ekiti have been paying tribute to the late Pastor Michael Adebamilayo Bisheson, who they described as a remarkable individual whose impact on the community will be felt by generations to come. Pastor Adebamilayo Bisheson, the Otumayegun of Igbara-Odo Kingdom, who died at the age of 77, was said to have left an indelible mark on the lives of many. BSS reporter Ademola Adeleke completes the story.
Born into the Oshomo family of Igbara-Odo-Ekiti, Pastor Adebamilayo Obisheson attended St. John's Primary School in the community, where he developed a strong foundation in academics and character, and this contributed to his becoming a printer in the country. His contributions to the community were described as multifaceted and far-reaching. The head of the Oshomo family in Igbara-Odo, Elder Oladipupo Araromi, described his demise as a big loss to the family and the entire community.
He contributed to the development of Igbara-Odo and the Oshomo family. Many sons and daughters of Igbara-Odo gained so many things through him.
His biography shows that the deceased was a significant figure and donor in the struggle for the creation of Ekiti State by supplying stationaries and more to support the cause. He was also said to have played a pivotal role in the creation of Ekiti Southwest local government, demonstrating his commitment to community development. The late Pastor Adebamilayo Obisheson was said to be also instrumental to the organization and coordination of the first Igbara-Odo Day celebration, where money was raised for developmental projects in the community, such as the Palace Building. As a member of Igbara-Odo Progressive Club, Pastor Adebamilayo Obisheson was also said to have donated the community's first transformer, which energized the community. The Elemo of Igbara-Odo, Chief Bakari Lasisi, and another community leader, Sir Ilesami Afere, speak on the contributions of the deceased.
He realized that one has to be like God. And when you want to be like God, you have to show love. He showed love to everybody.
I know him to be a very pleasant person, highly dedicated, and a peaceful man.
Also, the Yaloja of Igbara-Odo, Chief Adejoke Hastrop, and Mrs. Esther Omaparusi described Pastor Obisheson as down to earth. As a pastor, he pioneered annual Khan and Igbara-Odo Indigi Ministers Crusades, which continue to hold to this day, inspiring spiritual growth and community unity. The chairman of Igbara-Odo and Ogotun LCDA, Mrs. Bukola Ololaju, said the deceased will be missed.
And he worked for the community in so many areas. Financially, he contributed immensely.
The burial ceremony for Pastor Michael Obisheson will take place from the 1st to the 9th of June 2025. Ademola Adeleke reporting.
That's the midday news. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.
Ẹ káàsán, ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí ló ń dé sétí ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣọ̀n ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Adérónkẹ́ Babalọ́lá lórúkọ tèmi. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bíọ́dún Oyèbánjí ti sọ pé ìṣèjọba rẹ̀ kò ní tẹ̀tì nínú mímú àṣeyọrí àti ìdàgbàsókè bá ìpínlẹ̀ yìí. Gómìnà ló sọ̀rọ̀ yìí di mímọ̀ nígbà tó ń gbàlejò àwọn adarí tuntun fàjọ ìdàgbàsókè ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣẹ́dómi Benin Ọ̀wẹ́nà lábẹ́ adarí ọ̀mọ̀wé Olúfẹ́mi Adékànbí lọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. Gómìnà Oyèbánjí tó sọ pé àjọ ìdàgbàsókè ìṣẹ́dómi Benin Ọ̀wẹ́nà ni kò ní ipa kankan tó ń kó ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú onírúurú ìgbésẹ̀ létò ọ̀gbìn àti ìpèsè oúnjẹ tí ìṣèjọba rẹ̀ gùn lé. Gómìnà fi àìdùnnú rẹ̀ hàn pẹ̀lú bájọ ọ̀hún ti ṣe fẹ́rẹ̀ dojú ìjọba rẹ̀ bolẹ̀ lórí ètò àkùrọ̀ tó ń ṣe. Ó wá sọ pé ìṣèjọba ọ̀hún ti pa àjọ ọ̀hún tì wípé nípa pípèsè ọ̀nà mìíràn tó sì ti dòwò pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn àjọ ìdókòwò aládàáni tó ní nǹkan ṣe láti jẹ́ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì di ibùdó ìpèsè oúnjẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti ṣe ìlérí láti tẹ̀síwájú lójúnà àti ṣe àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìpinnu àti mú àdínkù bá ẹ̀kún omíyalé nípínlẹ̀ yìí. Igbákejì gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ yìí Ọ̀kínlúà Monísádé Afúyẹ́ ṣèlérí yìí lákòókò ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn tọ́rọ̀ kàn pẹ̀lú ìgbáradì láti fi òpin sí àjálù omíyalé tó wáyé ní gbọ̀ngàn Lady Jíbówú nílùú Àdó Èkìtì. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Adédayọ̀ Adélẹ́yẹ jábọ̀ pé Ọ̀kínlúà Afúyẹ́ rọ àwọn aráàlú láti fara mọ́ àwọn òfin àyíká nípínlẹ̀ yìí lójúnà àti fòpin sí ìṣàn omi kí wọ́n sì dẹ́kun kíkọ́lé sí etí odò. Nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ olùdarí NEMA Zubairu Umar tí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Fred Anusi ọ̀hún ṣojú fún sọ pé dídá ìdọ̀tí síbi tó tọ́ ni yóò dènà ẹ̀kún omíyalé ní àyíká. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ti bọwọ́ lu àbá òfin ètò ìlera tó péye ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì tọdún 2025. Àbá òfin náà ni wọ́n fòǹtẹ̀ lù níbi ìjókòó ilé láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ayẹyẹ ọdún kejì ti ilé aṣòfin keje tí olórí rẹ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adéoyè Àríbásóyè. Àbá òfin náà ni wọ́n gbé yẹ̀wò nípasẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ tẹ̀kótó ilé bí wọ́n ti wo gbogbo kókó òfin náà láti dáàbò bo ìlera àwọn ènìyàn nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Alága ìgbìmọ̀ tẹ̀kótó ilé lórí ìlera àti ọ̀rọ̀ gbígbógun ti àrùn HIV/AIDS Abímbọ́lá Ayáṣọ́làńkẹ́ ṣàlàyé pé àbá òfin náà yóò fòpin sí ayédèrú òṣìṣẹ́ lẹ́ka ètò ìlera nípínlẹ̀ Èkìtì. Ilé aṣòfin náà mẹ́nuba àwọn ọṣẹ́ tí ayédèrú òṣìṣẹ́ elétò ìlera ti mú bá ètò ìlera àwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí tó sì ń fa ikú àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. Bákan náà àbá láti gbé ìjókòó ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin lọ sí Fájuyì Pavilion lọ́la nítorí àwọn aráàlú. Aṣáájú ìlànà ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ọ̀gbẹ́ni Tolú Ìgèdá nígbàtí olórí ilé ìgbìmọ̀ náà sọ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèkàn ìlú lẹ́kìtì yóò wà ní oríkò náà láti ṣe ayẹyẹ pẹ̀lú wọn.
ṣí ayọ̀ tú ìtọ́wò àdùn sílẹ̀.
Ìjọba àpapọ̀ ti ṣèlérí àtìlẹ́yìn síwájú sí fún ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga ti ààbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láti lè jẹ́ kí ó kọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ológun tó dára jùlọ fún àwọn ológun. mínísítà fẹ́tò ààbò Alhaji Abubakar Badaru ṣèlérí yìí nígbà tó ń ṣàbẹ̀wò sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ológun ọ̀hún tó wà nípínlẹ̀ Kaduna gẹ́gẹ́ bí apá kan àbẹ̀wò iṣẹ́ ọjọ́ méjì sí àwọn iléeṣẹ́ ológun nípínlẹ̀ náà. Mínísítà ọ̀hún sọ pé àtìlẹ́yìn ìjọba fún ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ológun yóò ṣe ìrànwọ́ fún àwọn akitiyan ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ sí ọ̀nà àrídájú ètò ààbò tó péye. Ilé ẹjọ́ gíga ti pinnu láti ṣe ìdájọ́ tí ó ti ń retí lórí ìdápadà Al-Mustapha Haruna gẹ́gẹ́ bí emir kọkàndínlógún ti Gwandu lọ́la. Emir tẹ́lẹ̀rí ọ̀hún ni wọ́n yọ kúrò lọ́dún 2005 ní lòdì sí ìlànà òfin ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kebbi. Ìgbìmọ̀ onídàájọ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ 5 kan tí adájọ́ Uwanu Abba Aji jẹ́ adarí ti fi ìdájọ́ sílẹ̀ ní àkọ́kọ́ fún oṣù kẹfà lẹ́yìn tí ó gbọ́ àwọn àríyànjiyàn láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tọ́rọ̀ kàn ní ọjọ́ 11 oṣù kẹta. Ilé ẹjọ́ gíga ọ̀hún ni ó ń ṣe àtúnwò àwọn àfilò 4 lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Èyí lópin ìròyìn ọjọ́ kan rí fún tọ̀sán òní. Ẹ tún pàdé wa láwọn ìròyìn wọn tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà. Ẹ káàsán.